I'll tell you one thing that's interesting, though. One of the more recent characters on the global stage is Eric Schmidt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know Eric Schmidt, right?
Mm-hmm.
First, he was president of Google.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was the president or chairman of Google. And then he was
right.
president, then chairman. Then he was chairman of Alphabet, the parent company.
Mm-hmm.
He was pulled away from both. But along the way, somebody at the Trilateral Commission said, oh, we like that guy. And they went out and they tapped him. And now he's been a member of the Trilateral Commission for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah. Not surprising. I also found out when I did a little digging that Jeffrey Epstein was a member of the Trilateral Commission. Amazing as that may sound. Yeah.
Yes, he was. And
bizarre.
It is bizarre. And you look at people like Eric Schmidt now, who sits on he's chairman actually of the, the artificial intelligence task force that Trump put together. I can't think of the name of it right now. So it'll come to me. But he's chairman of this. Now he's in charge of artificial intelligence at the national level. He's driving the whole program across the country.
Oh, that's scary. Yeah.
And President Trump is just pouring money into it like there's no, we got to beat China on this, we got to be first.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm not against being first, but I'm very cautious about giving the reins to Eric Schmidt, for Pete's sake, who coined the whole phrase originally, do no evil.
Mm-hmm.
They threw that out. And then he had a video that's been viral on the internet for some time now, talking about the creepy line that Google, they instruct their people, come right up to the creepy line, but don't cross it. But well, what's the creepy line?
Yeah. Yeah. Who makes that line and who moves that line? And yeah.
That's right. So now our artificial intelligence / surveillance network that's being modeled, created, whatever, by our own government is headed by one of the top technocrat moguls now of the world.
Goodness. Well, and you may know this, I've done some shows on this, but the beginning origin of Google, they got seed and grant money from the CIA, and who helped them develop their original algorithms for Google. So, the government or the deep state and the Silicon Valley and others had their big toe in this thing from the very beginning.
Yes, they did. You're absolutely right.
So
this whole thing goes back, it's such a big story and a big picture.
Yeah.
That everywhere you look for these little tentacles, you see little evidences and you follow them. And it's like, wow, I didn't know that. I mean, most people, for instance, are not aware of the seed money that Google originally got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And never considered what kind of hooks they might have kept.
Yeah.
Along the way. Obviously now here's Schmidt now in charge of the whole artificial intelligence.
Goodness. And not to digress too much, of course, Amazon now has a $600 million contract with the CIA for cloud computing and measuring future trends. And the whole thing is tied and linked together. And I'll tell you, just not to digress too much, but what the CIA does is, and they did this with Google from the beginning, Schmidt and others, is and they've done it with Amazon. They'll come to you with their big bag of money, which now their budget is secret, but it was just recently leaked that they're putting $10 billion into the new cloud contract. But anyway, so they come to people like Schmidt and Bezos and others, and they say, hey, we got this multi-billion-dollar contract. Having been a program manager, you jump on contracts, either that or you lose your job. You do it to survive or thrive. Anyway, so the CIA does it, and then they say, well, okay, before we get started, because this is a classified program in the cloud, we need you to sign these CIA secrecy agreements, and then we'll bring you in as a patriot doing service for your country. And so Schmidt, and I'm sure the rest of them, signed the CIA secrecy agreement, as Brin and others did in the beginning. And then after that, they can't talk to anybody about it, or they're against threat of criminal penalties, So all these guys know the origin of Google. They know AI, where it's going, about the CIA's cloud, and now Department of Defense is getting one too. but they can't say anything about it. They probably wouldn't want to, but even if they did, it's not going to happen. And like you're saying, it's this intertwined network that fits together with all these tentacles that you've found, and probably you're still finding. And when you see all this stuff is connected to sustainable development, to globalism, the international economic order, and it's massive. It's a juggernaut.
It is.